What's happening, y'all? Hope that you all are having an amazing Wednesday. Hope everything that you set out to do today, you got accomplished. You got everything done. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Today, y'all, we're up on, I want to say 8 different platforms. So we're gonna try to give everybody a shout out. Where you checking in from? We got YouTube in here. We got Facebook up in here. We got Instagram up in here. We got TikTok in here, and 4 other platforms. I don't know, right? But today I wanted to just dig back into what we were talking about yesterday. I spent a little time giving a lot of information around how to get started. We talked about how to truly build generational wealth. We talked about how to get out of your rat race. We talked about um didn't see it, IG. Okay, cool. We talked about um some of the ins and outs of the mental that you have to have in order to make these things happen. So just because I know we're on multiple platforms right now, I'm going to give a small little recap, right? So we can make sure everything is covered. First thing first, your mindset got to shift. You didn't heard this a million times, but you never really understood how to make it happen. You never really understood um, what was the purpose really to make your mindset shift other than what people have told you, right? You got to be in the right mind frame in order um, to win in life, to get out of your rat race, to be in your own business. You got to get in the right mind frame. And what I would say to that is you are in the right mind frame. If you get up and you go to work every single day, whether you got your own business, whether you got your own job, you already in the right mindset. Something is making you get up every single day and go through this level of stress. It is what it is. When you go to work every day, there's a ton of things that tell you flat out, I don't really want to do this today, but I gotta do it because of this, because of that, or because of this, or because of that. Whatever that is, your why on why you're doing it, that same motivation needs to keep you going when you start this process of building generational wealth. It is a everyday process. That's right, Chris. It's an everyday process. Everyday process. And it doesn't stop. So that same motivation that's been keeping you going to your job for the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, however long you've been on your job or doing your business, you're going to need that same motivation. That's the motivation that you're going to need to do this process that I'm talking about. It all begins with thinking about what you want to do and how you want to do it, researching how you want to do this stuff and how these things need to get accomplished, and taking action on all the things that you didn't looked at, all the things you didn't thought about, and be diligent about it. Be unapologetic about it too. There are some people, which I like to call time stealers, who are going to come in and try to steal your time along with your hard earned money. That's a part of the process too. So I'm here to tell you firsthand, don't get discouraged because it seems like it's difficult. It's not. It only seemed difficult because it's something you've never done. What's up, Kay? It's something you've never done before that you're about to embark on. And that's the reason why it seems difficult. Because once you've done these things, it's no longer difficult. It becomes second nature. Sometimes I get on these platforms and I be sharing stuff and I forget to share stuff because I think it's common sense when in reality, it's common sense to me because I've learned it and I've done it. It may not be common sense to someone that hasn't done it yet. So I'm saying to you, it gets easier as you do these things. Don't get discouraged. I promise you, everything that you want out of life is on the other side of what you calling difficult right now. So what do I mean by that? If you're in your rat race right now, you're working, whether you're trading time at a job for money or whether you're trading time on your business for money. Like the blue cape. Yeah, I'm super lazy again today, y'all. But no matter what the situation is, you're in the perfect position. You already deal with some sort of a customer or a consumer, whether it's employees or not. If you got employees, if you're a manager, your employees are your customer. It's really that simple. You're dealing with them. You know how to de-escalate situations. You know how to pique people interest in order to sell to them. You know how to collect when you need to collect. Think about what I'm saying. These are skills that you're going to need when you're on your journey to build generational wealth, because you're going to navigate through a lot of unknown things that you've never had to do. But these things are the key. You ain't got to learn this in no book. You didn't learn it in the book from the beginning. Your job set you down for 4 hours and called it training or education, and then they sent you out there to do the work. They made you get the experience so you can understand how to do it. Well, it's the same thing with building generational wealth. You have to understand the 4 things that goes into building generational wealth, no matter what business you want to have, no matter how you want to set up your trust, no matter what type of property you want to have, residential, commercial, no matter what type of policies you try to do. Those 4 components have to be in place. Some sort of a business or job that's generating income. It just is what it is. Property. Now, the rental properties are important because it's going to help still generate income. But when I'm saying properties from this perspective, I'm speaking of land. Think about that. Policies. When I'm talking about policies, I'm talking about insurance policies. Specifically, whole life insurance policies. The ones that have a cash value, a living benefit, and a death benefit. I know there's other policies that are out there, and if you got a different strategy, maybe those other ones will come in handy. But for what I'm talking about specifically whole life insurance policies, right? The 4th thing is trust. Now, I'm not talking about trust in people. I'm talking about a trust to protect your assets that you have. This is not something that you can get around if you're trying to build generational wealth. Yeah, absolutely. You gotta, it should already be registered once you purchase it, but you absolutely gotta register. It has to be registered with them. But those 4 things are the 4 components. However you get to those 4 components, you gotta get there if you're trying to build generational wealth. I've been doing a lot of studying and I ain't found another way around it, y'all. Because the reality of it is you can go make all the money you want in the world. When you leave this planet, no matter if you have it in a trust or just in a bank, it's getting taxed at 40%. Anything over $12.92 million, it's getting taxed at 40%. So you got to have those 4 things. I haven't seen another way. If somebody knows another way, I haven't seen a proven track record with it. But the ones that I've seen with proven track records, they got those 4 things, y'all. And that's just the truth. If you're working a job, it might take you a little bit longer because you're not going to be able to generate enough income to get enough land and a big enough policy to make this process happen. Yeah, so when the deed is transferred over to you, once you purchase it at a land bank auction, it's automatic. The county gonna automatically pick it up. They're gonna pick up who the new owner is instantly because they're gonna be trying to get their tax money for their property taxes. Then you go through the process for the property taxes. But I'll get back to that. Let me get Done with this one. So think about that for a second. You got your job or your business that's generating money. If it's a business, that business is going to have business expenses and it's going to have taxes. The write-offs are between you and your CPA or your accountant. If you have a job, your job is going to get taxed, and then the expenses that your job is that you're going to have for your income for your job is going to be, your bills. Really, that's what it is. The rest of the money left over from your after expenses and taxes for the business, after taxes and your expenses for your job. If you have a business, it needs to transfer into two buckets, the money that's left over. A portion need to go into your trust checking account so your trust can pay the trust bills. The rest of it, if it's a big enough lump sum, buying land. If it's not, stack it into that lending institution called a bank until you're able to dump it all into land. This is all money after it's been taxed and after expenses. With your job, same concept. After taxes are taken out, the only thing you got left is expenses. You take your expenses, put in your trust checking account so your trust can pay your trust bills, your expenses. The money's left over, save to enough till you can buy land. But either way you look at it, by the end of the year, December 31st, that lending institution checking account that your business has that money in needs to go to zero. Buying land. And I know it's a tough process to follow. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make all this stuff happen. And the reason why you want to make this stuff happen is the only way you can build generational wealth. You're not building generational wealth with money, y'all. You need money as a tool to use to acquire the things that you need to acquire, but you're not building generational wealth with money. Generational wealth is buying time. Remember, you don't trade your time for money, you trade your money for time. You don't make money when you sell your land, you make money when you buy it. I hope I'm clear when I say that. So you buy this land because when you leave this planet, it doesn't have a cash value in your trust. And being that it don't have a cash value in your trust, you can have as much land in that trust as you want. What does that mean? Your insurance policy, when you leave this planet, should be the only cash that's funded in your trust. The money that you put in your trust every month or every quarter or every year that's paying the bills, that checking account is going to zero. Every single month is going to zero. Think about what I'm saying. When your beneficiary of your insurance policy, when that fund is funded into your trust, that's the only cash that should be in that trust. And that money should be used to build on the land that you've been buying. Apartment complexes, rental homes, properties. You might be in a hunting business. You might be hunting land. I don't know. Whatever it is that's going to generate money after you gone. The money that is generating is not for money being in the trust for your kids. They don't need no money. They got policies. So the money that these tenants gonna be paying back after you done built these properties, built these apartment complexes, the money that these people are paying back that's going inside of the trust, that money got to go back to zero. How is it gonna go to zero? Your grandbaby's gonna be instant trust fund babies. You can make it to where every quarter they get a stipend. You can make it to where every year they get a stipend. Just so the money can go back to zero. Because the reality of it is that's something that's going to pay forever. The trust is going to keep money in there to make sure the maintenance that need to be done on these properties are done in a timely fashion as well. But your grandkids are going to get a stipend from that money. So imagine this scenario. You got a business going, whatever it is. You bought land. let's call it minimally 100 acres you got when you leave this planet. Hopefully it's more than that, y'all. But let's call it 100 acres for this example. You got a whole life insurance policy. Now it's up to $10 million. That's going to be the death benefit. And now you got what? A trust. When you leave this planet, your business is going to do what your business do, because the beneficiary of that business is the trust. But the business don't got no money, ever. You got 100 acres of land. You also got a $10 million insurance policy. You leave this planet, that $10 million goes into your trust. $5 million is going to build on that 100 acres worth of land. You can build apartment complexes on there, rental properties, townhouses, homes, whatever it is. Make it hunt land, whatever it is to generate money. For the sake of this example, we're going to say apartment complexes. You're going to build, first off, a $5 million apartment complex using the trust $5 million. You still going to have $5 million left over because $10 million got funded. That other $5 million is going to buy more land. That first $5 million is going to build an apartment complex. $5 million apartment complex, if you want it to be nice, you can easily get your 100-unit apartment complex easily for $5 million and make it nice in real life. That's about $50,000 a door. More than enough money. Think about that for a second. You can rent out the form of whatever you decide to do. Something that's going to generate money. So what does that mean? Now you got 100 doors. You minimally charging $2,000 a month on average in each of those doors. It got to be 95% occupied anyway if the bank was financing. But since your trust financed it, it still got to be at 95% because you're doing it just what the banks do. So you got 2,000 units. That's funny. You got 10,000, you got 2,000, you got $2,000 a unit. 95 properties that's being rented out. Right? And what's happening at that point? You're making bread. How much bread you making? Somebody do the math for me real quick. 1.8, $1.9 million a month. Think about that for a second. Once you've done that, what else are you doing? A portion of it gonna pay the property management team because you're not managing this stuff, y'all. You gone. You get a professional property management team to manage it. Another portion is gonna have for the maintenance crew that's on deck, security, the upkeep on the property. All said and done, let's just say 50% of that 1.9 is going, is $900,000 you got. Going back to the trust. 900 grand. You paying yourself back. Or your apartment complex paying the trust back. Think about that for a second. What you doing at 900 grand? That 900 grand got to go to zero before the end of the year. And that's every month. Your grandkids automatically become trust fund babies. Think about what I'm sharing. And I know it's people in my lives right now saying, I hear you talking, but that's for a fetch. You ain't doing like that, nothing like that. I'm doing it in real life right now. That's the reason why I wear a cape. I just started wearing a cape every single day. Why? I'm super lazy. I ain't clocking in nowhere. I ain't trading no time for no money. Think about that. And that's the part that's scary. It's absolutely scary. Because none of this stuff is outside of y'all reach. None of it. It's just you lack the information. And that's all it is to it. There are a couple of things that you have to understand in order to accomplish this. The first thing is you got to stop listening to folks that don't have a proven track record. You got to stop doing it. You have to stop. You got to start doing what the banks do and what the wealthy people do. And people, I'm here to tell you, they buy policies and properties. That's it. I know people gonna hit you with no. They make money overseas. They make money. They make money with fees. They get money from the federal for loans. No, that ain't how they make their money, y'all. They business go to zero every single year. As a person that worked at Bank of America for 20 years as an executive without a college degree, I'm telling you it goes to zero every single year. Why you don't hear about these big old corporations like banks having tax issues? They didn't earn no money. I hope y'all hearing what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong, they pay taxes, y'all. But y'all pay more taxes than what the bank pay. How is that possible? It goes to zero every year. They understand the power of zero. Take a company like Bank of America, multi-trillion-dollar company. Got over 258,000 employees. I can't even make that up if I wanted to. They paying all of them a salary, trying to get it down to zero. 95% of the employees that got benefits, because 5% of them opt out, but the ones that got benefit, Bank of America gave all of them an insurance policy. And the minute they don't work at Bank of America no more, if they pass away before they leave the bank, they beneficiary gonna get that money. But if they quit or they get fired, Bank of America ain't canceling that insurance policy. Y'all better act like y'all know. Your job doing the same thing right now. You got a free insurance policy whole life with beneficiaries on it. You leave your job right now. They ain't canceling a policy. They just transferring the name of the beneficiary. The person that's paying the policy controls it. You ain't paid for the policy, so you don't control it. But we think we know something. We think we understand something. I'm here to tell you, you ain't got a clue. And I ain't on here bragging. Definitely not doing that. I'm coming from a place of love. Because I wish when I very first started doing business, I wish like heck that I would have knew this information. I'm happy I had to find out the hard way. I'm happy I had to find out the hard way because it made me dig deeper. And that's the part that I want people to understand. People don't wrap their brain around things that are just common sense. They're looking for imagery to show you and tell you what you got or what people think you may have. We do it all the time. You look at celebrities, they got to have money. They ride around in a nice car, they stand in a nice crib. They got the biggest jewelry on. Think about that for a second. And they be broke in real life. Look at how many celebrities, the minute they stop earning an income, they instantly go broke. How is that possible? And they got all this money. Imagery fools people. You can go to Turo right now and rent a Rolls Royce SUV. Rent it for 2 days. Do some content in it. People think you balling. Don't have a little bit of extra money to rent out an Airbnb. That's nice. Might cost you $2,000. But why are people doing this? Because they trying to trick you out your money, people. What's coming after this? A course that they trying to sell you. I keep telling people, I'm so confident what I'm talking about works. I give it to y'all for free. That's the part that people can't wrap their brain around. I have people DM me all day. What's your angle? What's your angle? You got to be selling something. You can't just be getting on this live, doing live like you doing, giving all this information for free. You got to be selling something. And I tell them the same thing I'm about to tell y'all. I ain't got to ask you for your money ever. You go to work. You got a business. You put your money into a lending institution. Just on Friday, I'm going to be there bright and early and I'm going to ask for your money and they're going to give it to me because it's a lending institution. And then I'm going to go out here and I'm going to buy all the products that I need to buy in bulk and sell it. And it ain't never got to have my face or my name on it. Sell it right back to you for 5 times what it's worth. I had somebody on my website, triumphtissue.com, was it last night or this morning? This morning. And they was like, hey, I see you got the 3-ply toilet paper on there for one price with Triumph Tissue, but you got the Gibson toilet paper on there, 12-pack for $6.99. How is that possible? I can do that because I own it. All the land that we have, when we clear trees down to build properties, we get it cut down and processed and make toilet paper. It's cost me less than a penny to make a toilet paper roll. So I can sell it for pennies if I wanted to and still make a profit. But people don't understand that. But I'm trying to get you to see when you know better, you do better. I intentionally wolf out. I can get my hair cut every 2 days if I want to. I can call my barber right now and he'll pull up at my crib right now today in less than 30 minutes and cut my hair. It can be 1 o'clock in the morning and I can do the same thing every 2 days and he ain't gonna blink. But I don't. I wolf out because I'm trying to show y'all something different. The imagery don't matter if you ain't really got it. I don't have to show it when you really got it. That's the part that's crazy to me. People always looking for the imagery. That's how you get tricked out your money. That's how you get finessed. So I've been whiffing it out. So people can come up, you ain't really got it. It forces people to pay attention to what I'm saying. And when it forces you to pay attention to what I'm saying, once you realize you really can use what I'm talking about right now in your current situation without even blinking, a light bulb go off. I had somebody send me a DM, what is your net worth? And I had to tell them the same thing that this close friend to the family told me. I don't know what my net worth is because a fool told me if you can count your money, you're broke. Wealth has been in my family now, y'all. And I got to be honest, it's been in my family now for about 3.5 years. That's how long wealth been in my family. It ain't no number, just so we clear. But wealth been in my family for about 3 years now. I ain't got no proven track record, but the person that I'm listening to, my dead best friend, wealth been in his family for over 400 years. It's a difference. He don't know how much his net worth is either. If you can tell me how much your net worth is, I can tell you how long it's going to take you for that net worth to go to zero. If you got $100 million, within 2.5 generations, your kids and your grandkids, that money's going to zero. There's no way around it. You have no way to protect it. Because we all know in your trust, anything over $12.92 million, when you leave this planet in cash, it's getting taxed at 40%. After 2 lifespans of it being taxed at 40%, it's going to be zero. But people be bragging about being worth $5 million. People be bragging about being worth $10 million. You the richest broke person we know. And that's the truth. How many entertainers you see, they got a bag? I mean, a real bag. That's what we call it. In luxury all the time. And then when their career ends, so does the money. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down, because the reality of it is, ain't nobody gonna tell you this. You ain't gonna get this in no book. Ain't no school gonna teach you this. And that's just the truth. I don't care what you do. And that's the part that's scary. How many people do you know that can say flat out, if they leave the planet in this minute for the next 2, 3, 4, 500 years, all they bloodline gonna have a head start? I can say that. I ain't walking around in the most expensive clothes. I think this is a money shirt. My wife bought this. Let me show this shirt. I'm doing content. My wife bought this a money shirt, money exchange shirt, right? She bought this shirt. I think she paid $200 for this t-shirt. I was mad in the mug. Why you pay $200 for this t-shirt? It's a t-shirt. You could have gave me a white tee and I would have been happy. But she paid $200 for a t-shirt. So guess what I did? Let me go live, do some content. I ain't getting paid on these platforms. Zabo103 is a business. This is a business expense now. See, when you know better, you do better. You ain't out here just doing stuff to impress some people that you don't know and don't know you and don't care nothing about you. You're doing something for your last name, not your first. And when you start doing stuff for your last name and not your first, all this stuff makes sense. All this stuff go together. I'm in my office right now, live. Zabo103, live in my office. Sometimes I'll be live in my movie theater. Why? Live. I'm working. We got facilities too now. So now I also can use my home workspace. Y'all better ask somebody. It blows my mind. But people get on these platforms and they don't see the imagery, and they'll automatically think he ain't got nothing going on. But how many of y'all on these platforms have went over to LexisNexis and froze your Clue report in your personal file so you can fix your credit? Maybe once or twice. How many people have done that already? It's free. You can fix your credit for free. So you can get the capital on your business to start your business. Imagine you sitting around here with a 500 credit score, and here I am, old fool up here, and told you how to fix your credit for free, then got you up to a 680, 700 credit score, and you then got your business credit going, and you then funded your whole business operation so you can start building generational wealth in real life. I ain't have to do that in no Rolls Royce. I ain't have to do that on no boat. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. The stuff I'm talking about that I'm giving to y'all for free, you can use it right away. Ain't nothing coming after this, y'all. I ain't selling nothing. It is what it is. All right, y'all, I didn't hit my mark in my office. So I'm gonna get off of